right, ladies and gents, this is an overview of the U.S. Constitution and its roots, the parts, how different things are going to influence it in the government that we have today. You will need these notes and to make sure that you have reviewed and are comfortable with them before the next class for your TBL quiz. You'll do an individual one and you'll also do a team quiz with this one. All right, so the roots and heritage of the U.S. Constitution begin with your framers being very intelligent, schooled men. They're educated, they're well read, they've done a lot of research in government systems. So they're going to draw on thousands of years of sources and models to try to establish what they think would be best for our nation. Okay, political developments from the Greek philosophers and the Roman Republic will be used. Greece having the first true direct democracy, and then the Roman Republic having representative government. Okay, the English have a democratic tradition that they've used. One of those concepts comes from the Magna Carta in 1215, which limits the monarch's powers and gave more power to the legislature, which would have been Parliament. Okay, the English Bill of Rights is also going to be drawn upon to establish what rights are going to be guaranteed in the United States of America as well. There'll be quite a few people who influence this new Constitution, including John Locke and his theories on natural rights, and Montesquieu and his ideas of separation of powers and checks and balances. Okay, so the setup of the Constitution, it's broken into different parts. You have the preamble, which is the introduction to it, and then there are 7 articles total. After those articles, you have the amendments. The first 10, which are established in 1791, are known as the Bill of Rights, and we have 27 amendments overall. So, since the Constitution's inception and it being ratified, we have only changed it 17 additional times from the original 10 with the Bill of Rights. Okay, the preamble of the Constitution begins, "We the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America." We'll go over what each part of the preamble means now. So your preamble is the goal of the Constitution. What are you setting out to do? The first thing is to form a more perfect union. We did have a union under the Articles of Confederation, but remember, it didn't work out very well. So a more perfect union of the states. Next step, to establish justice. So protect and set the laws. To ensure domestic tranquility, tranquility being peace. And domestic, you're talking about peace at home. So peace within the borders of the United States of America. Then your next goal is to provide for the common defense, to defend the country. Then promote the general welfare, so the well-being of the general population. Make sure that things are going well in this new nation. And then finally, to secure the blessings of liberty, so to secure freedom for everyone. These are the goals of the preamble, what they have set out to do with this new Constitution. After the preamble, you have the articles. There are 7 articles, as discussed before. The first article is on the legislative branch, your branch that makes the laws. The second, on your executive branch, your branch that enforces. Third, the judicial branch, the branch that interprets. The fourth article has to do with the relations between the states. The fifth article is the amendment process, or how the Constitution can be changed. The sixth is national supremacy, saying the Constitution is the supreme law of the land. Okay, you cannot, as the state of Texas, Virginia, Hawaii, whatever, establish some law that's going to supersede what the Constitution states. And then the 7th article is on the ratification or the approval of the Constitution. All right, you'll do notes on these principles a little bit more specifically next time, but right now, your basic principles of the Constitution, you have first, popular sovereignty. And that is established with the statement, "We the people." So the people should have authority, and they also have the right to alter or to abolish the government. Examples in the Constitution of popular sovereignty are included in, of course, the preamble saying we the people establish the Constitution for the United States, in your House of Representatives where they are chosen by the people and are given powers to govern the nation, and then also with your states given the right to decide on issues like slavery initially with the Constitution with the 10th Amendment. Okay, the next principle here is limited government. You're trying to avoid tyranny. Remember, you fought a revolutionary war over a government that was too powerful. So your government only has the powers that are expressed in the Constitution, and everyone must obey the law. Just because you're the president or you're a senator doesn't mean you can go off and, let's say, rob a bank or something like that and say, oh, but I'm the president, I can do that. Everyone must obey the law, and laws apply to everyone. Again, examples of the principle of limited government included in the Constitution include Article 1, Section 9 that lists the powers that are denied to Congress. Article 1, Section 10 has the powers that are denied to the states. The 10th Amendment has the reserved clause, or any powers that are not expressly listed in the Constitution are reserved to the states. That's why from state to state you have different laws regarding education, marriage, property ownership, things of that sort. Okay, next principle is separation of powers. As we've talked about before, the government is divided into three branches. The executive branch, where you have the president and then his cabinet members. There's a lot of people that fall under the executive branch. Your next branch being the legislative branch, your branch that makes the laws. That's where Congress is, the House of Representatives and the Senate. And then the judicial branch, which is your courts, particularly in this instance, the Supreme Court. Okay, your checks and balances make sure that no branch can abuse their power. So each branch can limit the other two. They have some kind of say-so over the other to make sure that no branch becomes too powerful. Okay. Our fifth principle that we're going over right now is federalism. And federalism is the division of government power. So you have the federal government, which is your national government or central government, and then it's divided from what powers your states have. So if it is a national power or federal power, it's known as a delegated power. So that is delegated or specifically stated as something the national government can do. Those things are regulate trade, to coin money, so we can fix that issue from the articles where everybody had all kinds of money running around, provide an army and navy, conduct foreign affairs, set up for federal courts. Okay, if it is a power that is shared between the federal government and the state governments, they're called concurrent powers. Okay, those things might be enforcing the laws, establishing courts, collecting taxes, borrowing money, providing for the general welfare of the population. Your states have specific powers as well, which are reserved powers. So these things are reserved to the states. The states deal with those things. So regulating trade within the state, establishing local government systems, conducting elections, establishing public school systems, those things are reserved powers to the states. The next principle is republicanism. Republicanism, again, is based on us having a republic form of government. We elect representatives to make decisions on our behalf. We do not have a direct democracy. Everyone isn't voting on absolutely every single law. We elect someone to represent us in the House of Representatives or in the Senate to make decisions for us. So an example here is with Article 4, Section 4, that you're guaranteed a Republican form of government. Again, the REP, Republican, or Republic, and REP for representative, if you make that connection. Okay, our final principle for now is individual rights, and that is protecting the rights of individual citizens. These are listed in the Bill of Rights as well. Okay, that last little section on the Bill of Rights for your notes page, I would like for you to answer those on your own. We'll discuss those in class. You're answering the questions of why do we have the Third Amendment? So please draw back on what we've discussed before in previous units as to why the Third Amendment exists. Again, with the Fourth Amendment, you're doing the same. Why do we have the Fourth Amendment? And then please give 2 examples of how the First Amendment was established during the colonization era. So going back to that second unit, what issues were presented during that time period that would require us to have freedom of religion, assembly, petition, press, or speech? You just need to give 2 examples from the First Amendment. Make sure that you've reviewed this information. You'll have the short TBL quiz, you'll do the IRAT, your individual readiness assurance test, and your team test as well. If you have any issues, email me. Have a wonderful day.